Yo, what's going on, guys? Henis here. Today we are attempting the Krusty Krab challenge map. This is a challenge map based off of the Krusty Krab from SpongeBob SquarePants, if you guys ever watched the show as a kid, which I'm hoping the majority of you guys did. But as you guys can see, we have very limited room to maneuver, and I'm pretty sure there is a buyable ending, so there is technically a way to beat this map, which I'm really looking forward to figuring out exactly how to do, because I have yet to figure that out yet, just in the quick 30 seconds we've been on this map. But yeah, if you guys enjoy zombies challenges, custom zombies maps, then make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like. I would really appreciate it. And subscribe if you're new. Have on those post notifications. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. So I think... Oh, there's triggers on this map too. Okay, there's triggers. There's teddy bears. There's going to be a ton of different stuff. Is that another trigger? That has to be another trigger, right? Okay, that's trigger one shot. Hopefully you guys can see everything on screen. I don't think my overlay should be covering up anything too important. Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah, this is going to get really intense really quickly. We got to figure out a way to either get out of here. I don't really know what we're going to do, actually. Okay. Yeah, we do not have a whole lot of maneuverability right now. I'm going to try my... Oh, there's soul boxes in here. I'm literally just realizing that now. Okay. So there's only 2 soul boxes. We're going to try to fill these up the best we can. What's up, Levi? How you doing today, my man? Welcome to the stream. Okay, we don't have enough to fill up or to grab Jug just yet. We don't have enough to even get in there. Oh, did I just switch? Oh, I swapped out the L car, man. I really want this as my secondary just because I feel like it's going to be able to help me a little bit better. What's up, Alberto? How you doing today, Joe? What's up, Mason? That random guy. Welcome to the stream. What's up, Mason? You got this, bro. This map is super easy. Yo, Rage. I'm hoping. Ooh, another teddy bear up there. You have found all the bears. Oh, it's going to play that SpongeBob trap song. Hold on. Is that what's playing right now? I think that's what's playing. We hearing that correctly? I'm just going to try to kill these zombies literally as soon as they spawn. It's going to make my life so much easier. Still 11 zombies left? Holy Jesus. Okay, that really scared me.
$1,000 donation if y'all help me win a contest.
Yo, hold on. Sean just comes in with a $2 super chat and says a $1,000 donation if we help him with something. If we help him win a contest. Sean, I don't know, man. I guess it depends on what kind of contest you're talking about, bro. All right, let's pick up this. I'm going to pick up this death machine here as soon as it starts to flash really fast, so we can go ahead and maximize our time on it. Okay, perfect. Ooh, another perk? Oh, we got sleight of hand. Okay, or not sleight of hand, but stamina. Cool. What's up, Drone Boy? Welcome to the stream. So I think, have we filled up all the soul? Oh, there's another soul box in here. Did you guys see that? It just started a link over here for somewhere. I don't really know. What's up, Mason? Welcome to the stream. So I guess, but yo, Sean, I do appreciate your super chat, my man. Thank you for the support. I don't really know how we could possibly help you win your contest. Unless you need, like, votes or something and you're looking to use my viewers to get yourself more votes. Alright, we got our zombie cache. I'm hoping we're able to kill all these zombies quickly. We still got 11 zombies left. I'm going to leave that nuke right there for right now, because it's not a dire situation yet. We're filling up some sort of soul box in there. Hey, what's good, Juan? How you doing today, man? Speed cola, not stamina up? Yeah, I know. Did I say stamina up by accident? I think I might have. Free perk? Free perk slot, I should say. I just got to wait till these zombies are close enough. Alright, good. We got enough money to go ahead and buy Jug now, which is good. What's up, Zadie Nelly? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Alright, let's open up this door. There's another soul box in here. You may not leave until you finish collecting my souls. Okay. That's just the back of power. We don't really need to worry about that. Let's open up that just so we have more money to buy this. I'm going to continue to stay in this corner. We just have to kill these zombies, I guess, as fast as we possibly can. I'm wondering if there is a way to get outside of this map. Because I haven't even come across a mystery box yet. So, I don't know. This map's really confusing me so far. But it really quite intriguing me at the same time as well. So I guess all the zombies like to wrap around there for some reason. What's up, Freddy? What's up, Gianni? How you doing? Welcome to the stream, guys. Appreciate all of you guys being in here. Like I said, if you guys haven't dropped a like yet, make sure you do that. I would really appreciate it. Alright, let's go over to this corner now. We're going to fill up this soul box. We should be able to hopefully easily funnel everybody right into here. Nice. Come on, zombies. You got to come through. Soul collection complete. Find and claim your reward. Oh, God. You can now escape if you can. Wait a minute. Are we already almost done with completing this map? Dropped a like. Yo, I appreciate that, Gil. I'm a new subscriber. Yo, what's up, Connor? Peanut Man. What's up, brother? Peanut brother, I haven't said hello to you in forever. All right, so where's this buyable ending here? It's got to be maybe here somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We have Mule Kick? All right, I'm going to keep... Whoa. Okay, I was not expecting that. Can I pick this up? Yo, we just got the Ray Gun Mark IIs. That's seriously the free gift that it gives us? That's quite generous. I like that. I like that a lot. The Ray Gun Mark IIIs, I mean, not Ray Gun Mark IIs. That's absolutely crazy. What's up, Mason? Okay. Got enough points to go into here. And here's the mystery box. Okay. Can't do anything with this sink. Nothing we could do on this table. So we already have speed code. Let's go buy a double tap. You might as well have that. All 4 perks. And the Bible ending is 25,000. Okay, 25,000. We could definitely make that happen, though. 100%. I have faith in myself. I don't really know how we're going to do that, though. I think the easiest way... Oh, hold on. Let me go bring the music back. As long as we've got the ray gun mark... Or, excuse me, we got the VMP and the ray gun mark 3s now, so we could theoretically just kind of camp in a corner or camp in one of these rooms. Because I don't think any zombies spawn in here either. Which is really, really nice. What's good, Juan? How you doing today, Benin? Welcome to the stream. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any donations there. Okay, we got speed boost now. I think my... Yeah. Oh, that's really, really nice. Infinite ammo. This is going to take us quite a good number of rounds, though. Oh, I didn't want to do that. All right, let's just knife everybody now. This is going to be an intense map. I can definitely tell. We've gotten all the triggers already. If I'm not... Or no, we've gotten all the teddy bears, I think. We haven't gotten all the triggers yet. We have to find all the triggers. What's up, Juan? What's up, Joey? Hold on, let me acknowledge that donation here. We just donated. That was ProDart coming in with a $1 super chat. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for the support. Let's get a pro spam, guys. Is that plankton up there? That is definitely plankton. That's got to be some sort of a little mini Easter egg. Wait. I think I just activated... Yeah, I think I just activated it. Okay. Sweet. What's up, Chase? Oh, no, that's just the perk. I'm dumb, dude. I was like, oh, that's going to be the Easter egg. That's just jug perk music that you don't hear too often. What's up, Christian? Hey, Bailey, welcome to the stream. I appreciate you tuning in. What's going on, guys? Live sub count ain't working? Yeah, I know, guys. So I was explaining this at the beginning of the stream. For some reason, the website that I use to show my live sub count, they completely changed their layout. So the way the cropping was working for my stream is just like all messed up now. Hey, M'd-up. Hennis, studying is not my thing, but you got a test tomorrow? I feel that, M'd-up. I feel that. Good luck on your test tomorrow, though, for real. Hey, what's up, Mimi? What's up, Healy? Deadpool? Logan? Gavin? Welcome to the stream, guys. All right, I'm going to leave one zombie. I'm going to hit the box. Okay. Had to kill him. Oh, we got ourselves the dingo. That is nice. Italian Turtle, what up, my man? What's up, Drone Boy? Yo, everybody make sure you guys do go ahead and drop a like. I would really, really appreciate it. We already have almost 400 likes right now, which is insane. Almost 600 viewers as well. You guys are dope. Insanely dope. Appreciate the support. All right, so 25,000. This is going to take a while. I'm actually just gonna try to stand in this corner. I don't know why we're getting all these free perk slots because it's not like we can be. It's not like there's a Wonder Fizz where we could be getting more perks, anyways. I'm not really sure. That's kind of confusing me. What's up, Evade? How you doing, man? What's up, Sergeo? How you doing today, King O? Yo, what's up, Dexbot? How you doing today, man? All right, hold on. I gotta reload. Even though the dingo's good. Ooh, Jesus. We could really use the double points right now. That would be super nice. Double points and a double tap. What's up, Benjamin? What's up, Nate Dogg? Welcome to the stream, guys. Yeah, everybody make sure you do go ahead and drop a like. Let's get a massive like spike in the chat. We always like to shoot for 1,000 likes. You guys have just been killing that recently. I have you on Snapchat? Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. What's up, Hennis? What's up, Carlos? What's up, Mason? Remember me? Who said that? Yes, Anthony. Anthony James? Or, wait, hold on. Was that your name? Anthony Jamie. Anthony Jamie. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Going to the left room? Yeah, this is where the Bible ending is, right here. So I know that's where we have to go to actually beat the map. We just got to get enough points, though. We got to get 25,000 score in order to break into there, which is pretty expensive considering this is literally the only space we have to maneuver on this map. What's up, Steven? Somebody else named Steven. What? Yeah. What's up, Fancy Pants? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Blake? What up, Hennis? What's up, Dominic? What's up, Michael? Ricardo? How's my day, HN?
Goat. Spam for the man, Hennis.
Yo.
Goat.
Hold on. Hold on. Bailey comes in with a $3.33 super chat. And says, can we get a goat spam for the man, Hennis? Except put the goat emoji. So can we get a goat emoji spam in the chat, guys? I would appreciate it very much. Thank you for the support already. You guys are literally already killing it. I was wondering how active the channel was going to be after I wasn't here for a couple of days, but you guys are still coming in with a lot of support, and I really do appreciate that. We got to keep the channel active leading into World War II here. All right, we're getting up there with points now. Here we go. Here we go.
Can I get a spam in the chat?
Yo, Retro, let's get a spam in the chat. Actually, yeah, hold on. So make sure you guys get a good goat spam in the chat. Don't put the goat in too many times, though, or else Nightbot will time you out. You just can't put more than... I'm pretty sure the limit is like 15 emojis. You can't put more than 15 emojis in like one message, or else Nightbot will entirely time you out. Hey, yo, what's good, Apollo Rave? How you doing today, my man? We had Retro King come in with a $2 super chat right there and said, let's get a spam in the chat. I appreciate that, man. We'll have the goat spam, I guess, count as a spam, but I do appreciate that. And then Ricardo comes in and also donates $1. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. If any of you guys are interested in becoming sponsors of the channel as well, to get access to all the exclusive emotes and, of course, the sponsor badge, you guys can find a link to sponsor the channel right at the top of the description down below. All right, we got to reload quickly. That actually came at a perfect time. Nice. I kind of want to... I really wish the box was in a better location.
Ray gun wall weapon next to box.
There's a ray gun wall weapon next to the box. Is there really? I'm definitely going to have to hit that up. Thank you, Multiplicable TV. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the support. And thank you for your $2 super chat. It really means a lot, my man. Okay. Hold on. Not risking anything from now on. 2 zombies left. 1 zombie left. Thank God this last guy's really slow. Alright, cool. Let's peek in here really quick. So next to the box, there's a... Oh, yeah, there's a ray gun wall buy right here for 10,000. I don't think I want to buy that, though. That seems a little bit too expensive, to be honest with you. I want to get another point up in here. Ooh.
Exactly. Need boats. Talk after stream, if you can.
Yo, Sean Spencer. I don't know, man. I don't know. You said you would donate $1,000 for that. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot. I don't know, bro. I don't know if I want to use my fan base to help you win a contest. That just seems weird. I guess it depends on what the contest is for. What's up, Slayer King? What's up, Neon FTW? Welcome to the stream. Okay, this is going to start getting a little bit too intense. The only thing that may actually work in our favor right now is the fact that these zombies are spawning pretty slowly. They're not spawning like crazy quick. Oh, I didn't mean to pick that up. That was actually a shame. What's up, Juan? How you doing today, my man? What's up? Yo, Kai Chase. I have a YouTube channel, so subscribe to me. Yo, little kid. That's actually his name. I'm not just calling him a little kid. Please don't self-promote in the chat. Thank you very much. All right, we got 17,000 score right now. We can, you know what I think? I'm willing to venture something right here. We're probably getting, oh, actually, I don't think I really wanted to pick that up. Is there any pack-a-punch on this map, actually? And I'm realizing this. Anyways, I'm thinking that we might actually, yeah, we're probably going to be able to have enough points to get the Bible ending at the end of this round. But I may want to stick it out here a little bit and see how long we can survive for. I'll pick up the VMP again just because it's such a great weapon. Oh, we can spawn a power-up. An infinite ammo? Okay. What's up, Magus? 200k spam, let's go. Yo, true. All right, hold on. I want to wait for that to... I want to use that infinite ammo at the best possible opportunity we can. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Hold on. All right, nice. There's that max ammo. Pick up that. Get that infinite ammo here. Nice. What's up, Marksman fan? What's up, Jason Kennedy? Make him donate $1,000 first. He'll scam the ish out of you. Yeah, probably. But Retro King donates another $1.11 and says, "Can I get a spam in the chat?" Yo, let's get a King spam in the chat. If there's a crown emoji that you guys can spam, definitely make sure you spam that for King. I guess that would be the most appropriate emoji to spam. All right, while we've got this infinite ammo, might as well just waste everything we've got, right? With this VMP. Okay, now it's all ran out. All right, I'm actually kind of worried about how this is all going to work out here with the VMP. So I'm actually going to camp in this room. Actually, it may be a better idea to camp in this room because this is where the Bible ending is going to be. So if we get enough for this. Hey, what's up, Scrub? How you doing today? Thank you for the King spams, guys. I do appreciate it. And Retro, thank you again for your donation. It really means a lot. Oh, wait a minute. Is there a glitch where they can't get into here? I think there is. Whoa, they can't even walk into this room. That's actually hilarious. No way. What's up, James? That makes my job a lot easier. They can't even walk it. So maybe it's the dead zombie bodies that are blocking them. Look at this. We're piling them up like snowfall on a doorstep. Okay, we have enough of the Bible ending, so we could get it right now. I want to try to make it to round 20 though. What's up, Sora Vortex? Welcome to the stream. Hey, Wolf Bomber, what's up, my man? What's up, Jessica? There's a ray gun wall by in the box room. Yeah, do you guys want to get it? Here's the thing right now, all right? We're already over 500 likes, Jesus. Okay, here's the thing. If we hit 600 likes before round 20, I will buy the ray gun, all right? I'll buy the ray gun and try to last on this map for as long as I possibly can. Hey, what's up, Nick? How you doing today? Yo, we got a sponsor in the chat, a menace to society. I appreciate you tuning in, my man. What's up, Boy Gaming? Arizona. What's up, King Butter? So everybody make sure you go ahead and drop a like right now. If we hit 600 likes before round 20, I'll go ahead and buy the ray gun. Right? I'll get the wall buy. We'll probably rake up enough points before then that we could buy the ray gun and still have enough of the buyable ending right at the very end. Ooh, wait a minute. Alright, let's actually activate that right there. What's up, Regan? What's up, James? Welcome to the stream, guys. This is way too easy, actually. We could get to an insanely high round with this. What's up, Nathan? Alright, how much is out there? We got a couple drops. Insta-kill? Alright, that's not too bad, actually. It's not too bad. What's up, stereotypes? Don't cheat. Get out of that room. Alright, yeah, I'll get out of the room for this round. I got you. We got the dingo again, and we got an insta-kill, so I'll take it. Did we already hit 600 likes? Holy Jesus, dude. We actually already did. That's insane. What's up, HN4?
What's up, bro?
Yo.
Best YouTuber on earth right now.
Yo, it's actually not Brandon. Thank you for the support, brother. I appreciate your $1.11 donation, and of course your compliments as well. You are an amazing human being. Thank you for the love. Oh, no. Oh, no, are you kidding me? It made me swap to a different weapon. Okay, this is actually really not good. Alright, I need a place to reload. I need a place to go sit, too. I need to sit right in here. It's just too risky. I'm sorry, guys. I need to survive the rest of this round in here. It's just gonna be too risky for me to go anywhere else. What's up, Renewed? I'd buy that. 2 zombies left. Alright, that's the end of the round. Let's pick that up. Yo, let's get a rip in the chat for that, guys. I did not think you were going to go down. Yo, proRIP for those of you guys who are sponsors. I would really appreciate it. Alright, let's buy Jug. We got Quick Revive. And then let's get Double Tap once again. So I guess that's the danger to camping inside one of those rooms. It was my fault. I left him. Sorry. No. Luke, you're all good, man. You're all good. Alright, let me actually... I'm going to sit right back here with the box. Yo, let's see if we get how many zombies we can knife that come through here. Probably going to be too many for it. I wonder if we could knife every single one as they come through. This would actually be crazy if we could survive this. Literally knifing every single zombie. I don't know if we'll even have an insta-kill that'll last for that long. 31 zombies left. Alright, here we go. We're doing good so far. The zombies just got to keep coming through. Nah, we're going to run out of the insta-kill. I know it. Oh, no. Shoot. Alright, reload. No, we're going to go down. No, are you kidding me, man? What's good, Leo? How you doing today? What's up, the plush? Alright, only 7 zombies left. Let's just kill the majority of them. Reload this. Notice me. What's up, Trippy Savage? What's up, James? Hello. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Okay, had to kill both those guys. We gotta pick up... Oh, no. We just swapped out. Wait a minute. Okay. I just accidentally bought the Bible ending. Got too cocky? Yeah, in all honesty, it was probably best for us to get the Bible ending. Damn it, man. We survived 20 rounds. That was actually really, really nice.